Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today I'm giving you a secret sneak peek look into my travel altar. So this is going to be part of a travel series that I'm doing, and if you're interested to know what I take with me on all of my trips, regardless of where I'm going, this is the video for you. Okay guys, so this is the bag that contains all my travel altar goodies. So we're going to go through this today. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I carry with me, why, and the significance of the things that I bring with me on all of my travels. Literally, this bag has been around the world with me, so this is a big one. So the reason why I carry a travel altar, if you watch this video I talk about why it's so important to set a space in a container for your meditation. So for me, having a travel altar is actually something I use for a variety of different reasons. One of them being that it helps me feel safe. A lot of times, so I kid you not, I've been to 6 different countries in Africa, and this bag with all my little stones and trinkets in it has come with me. And I had a little ritual that every night when I would go to sleep in my tent, so let me give you a little backstory. We were camping, wild camping, with all kinds of different creatures I've never heard before and seen before in all kinds of different places. I had no idea what they were. And so having a travel altar allowed me to create a little ritual for myself where I would lay out my crystals and my little pictures and things like that every single night, and kind of bless them and ask for protection. And it was just an altar is really like a connection, a physical connection from yourself to spirit. So your altar can have in it anything that you want, anything that has significance to you. So it doesn't have to be, certain specific things. You don't have to create it in a certain specific way. It's just things that are meaningful to you, things that help you connect to your higher self, that connect you to the earth maybe, connect you to the divinity within you. Whatever it is that helps you create those spaces and those rituals for yourself, that's what goes in your travel altar. So without further ado, let's get going through mine. So I'm going to start with actually my most recent addition to my travel altar, because I've had this thing for a long time, like, I don't know, maybe four or 5 years. And this is my most recent addition. So this little guy right here, this is my little lion that I made in, where was I? In Zimbabwe. So I was in Zimbabwe, and one of my goals through our entire trip throughout Africa was to learn how to wood carve. So believe me, I've been down this whole witchy, I don't even know what you want to call it. I was going to call it a debacle. But basically a whole witchy avenue. I've taken a lot of witchy courses and things like that. And I loved making wands as a kid, as an adult as well. And I loved just working with wood, because wood really tells you like what it wants to be. So there's a really cool story behind this guy, and I take him with me now because actually, when I was a kid, I was born on August 23rd, and most people born on August 23rd are going to be considered Virgos. So for my entire childhood, until I was about 25 years old, I believed I was a Virgo growing up. And then I had a professional astrology reading done and realized that because of my birth time, I was actually a few minutes before the cutoff. So I also have a lot of Lion or Leo energy. So this was super, super important to me. There's so much story behind this. We were staying at a hostel that had like a wood carving shop in the front of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I wonder if this guy is going to be able to teach me. Maybe he'll let me, make something myself. And so I asked the people that were working there, do you know this guy here that makes all these things? They're like, yes. He literally just came back from being gone for 3 months, like yesterday. I was like, no way. So they got me in contact with him. His name is Richard. And so Richard had this piece of wood, was originally like this big, and it was a hippo. And so he takes this hippo out of his collection of things he has made, and he is like, what do you want to make? And I was like, I don't know. I was hoping you were going to tell me. And he was like, well, do you want to make something easy or hard? Or he was like, what's your favorite animal? And instantly in my mind, I was like, lion. And so that's a recent development because of my understanding of my own lioness qualities. But so I say to him, I was like, oh, I want to make a lion. He's like, that's hard. I was like, well, you can help me. And so we start making this lion, and he basically tells me that his family's name, like his family's crest and his, like his tribal family name is lion. So it was 2 lions making a little baby lion, if you know what I mean. And it was so special. And, I never ended up actually finishing it. So it should be a lot more obviously defined and stuff like that than this one is. But I really like how raw it is, and that it just kind of has like, it's almost like a really quick sketch, like it's like the gesture drawing of a lion, and I find that super special. So this is now the newest part of my travel altar, and I take this with me everywhere just to remind me to be in my lioness-is. So the other things, so I have 3 separate bags that I keep in this one container. So this actually, when it has everything in it, is pretty chunky, but it's still rather small when you think about the travel footprint of this is still pretty small. So most of the things that I actually take with me are all gifts, which are super special because they always have really beautiful stories behind them. But we're going to take out, I have a couple crystals that I keep with me, and 2 of them, well actually 3 of them were a gift. One was a gift from the earth, and one was a gift, or 2 of them were a gift from another person. So let me start with this one. Okay, let me see. So this, I don't actually know what stone this is. So if you can comment and tell me what this stone is and what it's good for. I've had this now for about maybe like a year or a year and a half maybe. And this thing I actually got because I was in a park, and I go to this park like every few days when we stayed for a couple months in Florida. And so every couple of days I would go to this park and I would pick up trash. And then one day I was picking up trash, and I was asking Spirit when to tell me when I was going to be done. And that moment that I said that, I literally looked down, and this stone here, this stone was sitting on the ground, like literally just like looking at me. And I was like, no way is that like, did that just happen? I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. So if you know what that stone is, please put it in the comments. I've never been able to find like what it actually is. I'm not sure what stone it is. The other one that I keep with me is this one, which you guys might know is black tourmaline. This one was a gift. It was found by a man that I visited in Arizona, and his family runs a hot spring in Arizona. It's amazing. It's all natural hot spring, and it's like a sulfur spring, so it has all kinds of minerals and stuff in it that are amazing for your body. You can stay overnight there. It's called Essence of Tranquility. I will try to put the information for that in the description if you ever want to look it up. It's so amazing. We camped there, but you can also stay. They have like little tiny like chalets that you can kind of stay in. It's really small, and it's not super well known, but it's so cool. The place is like magical, so I highly recommend going there. And then of course, as we know, black tourmaline is all about, grounding and protection. I always need grounding. This is really good for, getting rid of any negative energy is really good for that as well. Then this one is amazing. I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. So this stone was given to me by the same man that the other one, the tourmaline, was given to me from. But so this stone is people think that this stone is a mythical stone, and it goes by two different names. One of the names it goes by is sapphirite. The other one, more commonly known, is sintamani. So sintamani is meant to be like a mythical stone that people are like, we don't even know if this exists. And this was a stone that was gifted to, in like the Buddhist tradition, was gifted to bodhisattvas or divine beings. And this was meant to hold a lot of wisdom and was supposed to be of a very, very high spiritual nature. So when he gave us this stone, this is a really cool stone because actually if you look at it in front of the light, like when you're just looking down on it, it looks like a normal, just like kind of black rock. But when you look up at it at the light, you can actually see that it does not, like, it's not opaque. You can see light going through it and it turns into like a white gray kind of color. So it's such a cool stone. And apparently it's very, very, very magical. I have kept this with me like on my person for a long time, and I would like to say I live a pretty magical life. So I'm just going to put that out there. But yeah, so then I keep this one with me. Then I also keep this cute little thing. So this is like a little keychain that I made this, but there's a couple different parts to it, and each one of my family members has one of these. So we have a tradition for Christmas that we hand make our Christmas gifts. So this was one of those kind of ones, and every year my mom and my sisters and my brother and we all make different things for each other, just like handmade items. So it's pretty special. But this one I took with me because each little thing here represents like a different member in my family. So I took this with me starting when we were going to Africa, and so that I could have little pieces of my family with me wherever I was going. And then I have in this one another gift. So these are, as you can see, these are rose quartz. So these are, if you don't know rose quartz, it's very much for love and unconditional love. And I find that I work a lot with forgiveness and letting go and unconditional love. And so I like to a lot of times meditate with the rose quartz, like close to my body or on my hands, because they just have such a beautiful, soft, like angelic frequency that it just makes me feel so good to carry these with me. And in troublesome or struggling times, like I find these, they feel so motherly. So I loved carrying these with me. These were also a gift before I left for Africa. A friend got them for me, so I like to keep these with me as well. And then last but not least, I carry a couple like really kind of funny, silly things that look a little ragged now. But again, going back to that unconditional love, I carry this with me, which is an image of Jesus. And believe me, I'm not super religious, but I do resonate a lot with the frequency of the Christ consciousness, as I'm sure we all do. But yeah, so I like to carry Jesus's picture with me because I feel so resonant with that energy, that it means a lot to me to have that. Then I also have some fun pictures of myself. So if you guys don't know this, I used to be a hairstylist before I started traveling. So this was just fun because these pictures were from my friend Anna. She had one of those Polaroid cameras, and so we had a girls' wine night, and these are some of my salon friends. So I love to keep these with me and just, to remember who I was, especially when you're traveling. You're moving so quickly and things adapt and change, and you don't have time to talk to people that you always are able to, or sometimes you just don't even have cell service. So I love keeping pictures of the people that I love, because then I can look at them if I need support. As a highly sensitive traveler, it can be very difficult to be on the road all the time, to be moving all the time. And when I have these with me, they just make me happy. They make me happy and they make me feel whole. So that's why I carry them. Then I carry this little thing, which is like a little quote. I won't read them, but just little reminders. Then this one as well. This one actually came from my boss when I was a hairstylist, and she, after we came back from COVID, sorry guys, that was my alarm. After we came back from COVID, she got us all these beautiful necklaces, and this was what was in the case with the necklace. And there's some really like poetic things that are said in here, and it's all about life and doing, you know, what makes you happy, and, you know, not changing who you are and just being your authentic self. So this is really special to me, and I keep it with me because sometimes you just need a reminder from somebody outside of yourself that you're doing okay and life's okay, and this is that reminder for me. So thank you, Nikki. I love you. And so guys, that's it. That's it. That's what my travel altar is all about. You know, I've got some crystals, I've got some quotes, I've got some pictures, and I've got a little carving that I made. And, you know, like having a travel altar is all about what brings you the most joy. What are things that you just can't imagine parting with? What makes you feel magical? What reminds you how amazing you are? You know, for me, traveling is hard. So a lot of it has to do with what puts love back into myself when I look at them. You know, what brings me joy when I look at them, what makes me feel supported. And you know, crystals have such a different frequency depending on the crystal. So I would highly recommend doing research on what crystals you feel drawn to. Also, a lot of the things that I keep with me are gifts. And so I have I don't even know what you want to call it. I have a belief that if someone's giving me a gift, then the universe is actually giving me a gift through them. So there's a reason that I need that thing that they're giving me. And I've found a lot of times that, you know, a lot of times we don't want to receive gifts from other people because we don't feel worthy. But I have found that so many of these gifts that I've received, you know, whether it be photos, quotes, crystals, have come in handy to me at times where I really, really, really needed them. And, you know, having a travel altar isn't about being, you know, extra or about the fact that you can't find that within yourself. It's about being able to be reminded at any moment that you can create a sacred space and a ritual for yourself wherever you are. You know, if you find yourself in the middle of the desert, you still are able to easily create this sacred space for yourself, whether you're meditating, whether you're just feeling scared and alone, whether you just need to invite more magic into your trip. Wherever you are, when you bring a travel altar with you, you have all of that magic just right in the palm of your hand. And there's something just super special about that. So that's all that I've got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have a travel altar, put down below what is your favorite thing in your travel altar. And if you don't have a travel altar, would you consider getting one? And what would you put in it if you did get one? Would you put stuff from your altar at home that you already have? Would you get new mini versions of things? But it's so fun to play around with all of this, and it's such a joy to have them when we're on the move and we're not able to have the same comforts of home. So put in the comments below, like, subscribe to this video and my channel. I also make meditations and other sensitive how-tos, so check out some of those videos. I'll link at the end. If you have any questions for me, please put it in the comments. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Big love, Serena.